No one could believe it, even the calmest observer was left speechless. A key witness takes the stand in a U.S. courtroom and delivers bone-chilling testimony about her experiences with one of the most powerful figures in the global music industry. "We used more than 24 bottles of baby oil in a single night. Every time. That was just the beginning." The public image of Sean "Diddy" Combs, the man once celebrated by hip-hop fans, entrepreneurs, and media outlets, is crumbling before our eyes, piece by piece, with every new word that escapes this woman's lips. Her story is not just a personal account, it sounds more like a glimpse into a world driven by power, control, money, and a dark sexual dynamic that borders on humiliation. The woman testifying, referred to as Jane in court, is one of Diddy's former partners. And what she describes could shake not just his career but the entire structure of the American music industry. Jane claimed that their sexual encounters were far from private moments between two people, they were orchestrated, often involving other men, with Diddy allegedly controlling the situation. Since May 2021, she testified, 90% of the time she saw him, she had sexual intercourse with other men. The shocking part, however, isn't just the content of these meetings, but the suggestion that they may have had a financial component. Jane alleges that Diddy offered her a so-called love contract, essentially a relationship agreement, in exchange for $10,000 per month to cover her rent. While the term love contract may sound odd to the average person, it's not unheard of in the entertainment world. Such contracts are sometimes used to secure silence, sexual consent, or even exclusivity between a powerful figure and a less influential partner. But when financial rewards are involved, the ethical line between consent and coercion begins to blur. The courtroom drama didn't end with her testimony. Diddy himself was accused of behaving inappropriately during the trial, making facial expressions and gestures toward the jury. Judge Subramanian sternly reprimanded him, stating that he was seen nodding vigorously and attempting to interact with jurors. "There shall be no interaction with the jury whatsoever," the judge declared. "Otherwise, your client will be removed from the courtroom." Diddy's lawyer promised it wouldn't happen again, but the damage to his image may already be done. To understand the full scope of this case, we must look at who this man really is. Sean Combs began his career as a music producer with Bad Boy Records, a label that became a cornerstone of New York's hip-hop scene. He was the man behind the meteoric rise of artists like Notorious B.I.G. and Faith Evans. From there, his career exploded, multi-platinum albums, collaborations with top-tier artists, awards, and personal ventures into fashion, spirits, and media. He was the embodiment of the American dream. Yet beneath that glittering exterior, signs of darker behavior had already begun to show. Diddy has been involved in multiple scandals over the years. In 1999, he was arrested for gun possession following a nightclub shooting in New York. Though he was ultimately acquitted, the case attracted intense media coverage. In 2007, a former associate accused him of assault. Over time, anonymous reports surfaced claiming abuse of power, emotional manipulation, and sexual harassment involving women he dated or worked with. Jane's case, however, is different. This isn't about a single incident, it's about a long-term relationship allegedly built on control, dependency, and financial manipulation. Beyond the shocking details of the freak-offs, her claim that Diddy essentially hired partners in exchange for financial security raises questions not just about his morality but about how the star system operates. Legally, this case is complex. In the United States, consensual sexual relationships between adults are not illegal, even if money is involved. However, when those relationships involve dependency, influence, or psychological pressure, the definition of consent becomes a legal gray area. Jane's legal team will likely argue that Diddy abused his power to dominate not only her sexual life but her day-to-day existence, using the threat of financial withdrawal to keep her compliant. Public opinion is deeply divided. On one hand, die-hard Diddy fans defend him fervently, claiming he is the target of a smear campaign. On the other, voices from the #MeToo movement and broader society demand full transparency and justice. On social media, hashtags like #SurvivingDiddy and #Diddy allegations are trending. Influencers and activists are voicing their outrage, insisting that such behavior can no longer be tolerated, no matter how powerful the perpetrator is. Diddy's case draws eerie parallels to other high-profile scandals that have rocked the world in recent years. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, even R. Kelly. The common thread? Power, silence, hush money, fear, and society's tendency to look away, until someone is brave enough to speak out. If Jane is telling the truth, then Diddy is not an outlier. He is simply the next chapter in a repeating cycle of abuse and control in the entertainment industry. The consequences for Diddy could be catastrophic. If found guilty, he could face serious criminal charges, potential prison time, massive financial settlements, and total professional isolation. His partnerships with major brands like Ciroc or Sean John could be terminated. Music platforms might pull his content. And even if he avoids legal punishment, the court of public opinion no longer grants celebrities immunity. The world has changed. Public pressure matters. Above all, this case raises an uncomfortable question that has long loomed over the entertainment world: what hides behind the spotlight? How many of the smiling faces in music, film, or business use their influence to manipulate, exploit, or even destroy lives behind closed doors? And when will it stop? The silence is breaking. Justice is beginning. And the world is watching.